All right. Sports Talk in the Man Cave. We are back. It's Halloween time. We're getting close. Get your candies ready. We got our picks ready. We got a few topics talking about Redeem Team. We're also going to do a book it as well this time around. And I think we all have our teams picked already. But let's start off with our picks. And we're going to start with the Ravens versus the Bucks.
I'm going Ravens.
Ravens.
The Bucks looked terrible this past week, so I don't think they're going to recover. I think Tom Brady has a lot on his plate right now. I'm going Ravens.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the Bucks have 4 more starters out, and I mean the receivers are there and everything, but yeah, on top of all his problems, he's got Antonio Brown in his little ear. That's another little distraction he has there. But no, I don't see the Ravens. The Ravens are also coming off the loss, right? So I see it's going to be a hard-fought game because both of them are just dead. I think it's going to be a really good game, because both teams are desperate for a win. So I think it's going to be must-see TV tomorrow, and I do agree that the Ravens are going to win.
I agree. I agree with that. I think the Bucks are going to win. I think that
Wait,
The
what?
Bucks?
We don't agree with that?
No. They're going to get beat. They're going to have the Ravens in their face. Brady's going to have the majority of the Ravens in their face, a whole bunch. And they're because they saw the way that he throws the ball away. As soon as he sees the pressure coming, he doesn't even feel he feels them coming, and he'll throw the ball away. And like those last 2 passes, not even at their feet, way in front of them in coverage. And I think he's going to feel the pressure again. And I don't think he's going to do it.
I kind of agree with you on this game. I think the Bucks are going to turn it up at the end, and I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they're going to do fine, but I think this game, I think they're going to lose to the Ravens.
Well, they have a weak division, right? I mean, what do they have? Carolina, the Aints, and who's the other team? What do they have in there? There's another team in there. It's pretty bad.
Jaguars in there? No, they're on the other side.
No, but it's the weakest division in the NFC by far.
Okay.
So there's a possibility that they make it.
It's about by default.
Yeah, so we all agree that the Bucks are great. Okay, so Seahawks, Giants.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I like Geno Smith, and I like their new rookie running back, Walker. I think he had like a rookie record for rushing yards last game. And I think they're going to continue. I don't think the Giants are that good. Or maybe I'm just a hater.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're that good.
No, I agree with Carlos. And go back to the same thing I've been saying, even though I've been I've been wrong every week about Danny Dimes to their team. But they keep winning, But it's kind of like that the new coach they got, he did wonders for Josh Allen, and it's kind of like he's working his magic around Danny Dimes to their team. And they've been winning, but they've been also out coaching their team. I think if you guys see the games, I think they've been out coaching their team. So I think that the luck is running out. It's very hard to win in Seattle. They have a really good home field advantage, and Geno Smith has really revitalized that career that he came out, I think, as a first rounder, and all of a sudden, I guess sometimes it takes a couple of years for some players to mature. Mm-hmm. He came in with a big head, and I think he got humbled. He's in the bench, probably about to lose his entire career, and something happened to the guy, and he got another chance, and kind of like Rich Gannon,
Mm-hmm.
So maybe something like that happened to him.
I really think that Jones has been improving every game. He has been improving every game, and right now I wouldn't go against him.
He's your fantasy quarterback.
Okay. He's one of my fantasy quarterbacks for this week.
Yes. Never go against that guy. So you're going with the Giants?
I'm going to go with the Giants.
Okay.
What are you going with?
Well, did you see the Giants almost lost this last game?
Yeah.
They were a yard away from, losing the game.
Mm-hmm. It's a game of inches.
Yes, that's what I hear. That's what I hear. And Seahawks are pretty good, man. They're doing very good. I think the Seahawks are going to take this game. Giants cannot keep winning. I think they are lucky, and they're not
solid.
as good as
they're solid. Their running game is good,
but they're not as good as what they're playing. I think they're playing above what they're.
I don't think they can maintain it.
I don't think they're going to maintain it. So let's.
Well, this might be the week that they don't.
So you're
they've
going
only
against
lost to the Cowboys, right?
You're going against us here in this one. Yeah, they've only lost to the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys are 5-2, and they're still in third place, man. Jesus.
That's a good division this year.
All right, let's go with the next one. 49ers, Rams.
I'm going to go with the Rams. They're not playing too good, but the 49ers didn't look good last week either. But they still have Cooper Kupp there and Matthew Stafford, who's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, so I'm going to go with them.
I disagree. I'm going to go with the 49ers. I think the 49ers are like their kryptonite, and the defensive front is going to be all over that weak offensive line that the Rams have. They might have all these weapons, Cooper Kupp, and all these. I don't know how to say it. and all these weapons, but if you don't have time to throw the ball, I mean, you're not going to get it out to those guys, you know. And that defense, the 49ers defense, they're just as good or maybe better than the Cowboys defense.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying the 49ers are going to crush them.
Crush them.
I say the 49ers will win because of the defense.
And McCaffrey, you know?
Defense. Well,
He made a big difference.
And he's
well, they have to
injured,
spread
right?
out the ball a lot now. Remember, they have to spread out the ball with all the weapons they have. So it's
It makes it hard
How
to
many-
defend. But
Yeah,
they
it
only
makes
scored
you very
23
different.
points this last game.
Yeah.
They couldn't
that was
stop.
his first game with the team, and he has all these other weapons that he could go to. So
I mean, Kansas City doesn't have the best defense. They didn't do much against them.
Sometimes your best defense is your offense.
That's Kansas City. That's Kansas City.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying about that
Yeah.
game, maybe. I mean, because,
Jeez.
but yeah. Like, Dave, what do you think?
Oh, yeah. 49ers defense is very good. I think I have to go defense.
49ers.
It's a defensive win for sure. So I'm going defense. So you're going Rams.
Rams.
We're all
You're going to
going.
stick to that.
I'm sticking to
You're
it.
sticking.
All right.
Oh, okay, all right. 49ers. And then there's two more games. We're going to go with the England game just because I don't think it's going to be a great game, but the Broncos are playing the Jaguars. It's going to be a tough one. Okay.
I'm going,
What do you think?
with the young QB,
yeah, the Jaguars
Yeah.
with the 5-2 win.
who's pitching?
I'm going to go with the Broncos to snap out of that streak, that losing streak. And it's just a hunch. It's a hunch pick, really, because, I mean, you never know when they play, you know, in these other countries, you know, because the sleep and everything, and yeah, you don't know what they did the night before or whatever, the jet lag, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just a hunch pick, and I'm gonna take Russell Wilson to finally win one and say, what does it say? Country ride?
That's right.
Let's ride.
Broncos country.
Yeah,
that's
make it
right.
official and say it's right.
You know, they say the same thing about Russell Wilson that they do about Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
So what do you
So
think?
I'm picking the young quarterback for the Jags to have a great game.
It's really a home game for them. They play there every single year. So this is a home game for the Jaguars. I'm taking the Jaguars as well. I think they're just playing a little bit better, I think, than the Broncos are.
Can we have you on the record here? No. Go ahead.
Now the last game, Cowboys Bears. This is gonna be a good game. One of my staff.
It's not gonna be that good. We're gonna dominate them.
It's going to be a good game. If you saw the Bears play this last game, they did awesome. I mean, they scored 33 points, 33
That wasn't
points.
against the Cowboy
Yeah.
defense.
It wasn't against the Cowboys defense,
Mhm.
but they did a good job. I mean,
Fields kind of sucks, and I think the defense is gonna be too good, and he's not gonna be able to do much. Their run game, I mean, it's not that good. They run it chingos and a lot.
well, they're going to have to contain Fields also because remember, that guy takes off. He takes off. He loves to run the ball.
I don't.
Cowboys can do it.
Yeah, Cowboys
And-
can make.
and Hopefully, it doesn't have to be a halftime adjustment. Because if it's going to be a halftime adjustment and we're down 14,
I don't think we're
know.
going to be down to them. I think we're going to put a lot of pressure on him. We're going to stop him, and I think Dak with a little more rust taken off is going to be fine.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna take the Bears, guys.
Nah.
No, I'm kidding. No, okay.
Wow.
It's a no. All signs go to the Cowboys. It's a short week for the Bears because they just played recently
Yeah.
Monday night, and it's going to be a short week for them. Their what's it called? Their weakness is our strength, which is their offensive line, right? Because you know, and then our strength is our defense. So we should be able to put a lot of pressure on him. So also, I think that we did some other things that I think that we showed flashes. I know that last week also we even unleashed what do they call it the last time? Landing in a bottle chirping. We gave him a reverse and
Yeah,
kind of a. So I think we're throwing in a little bit more wrinkles as you can tell when Dak is in there, they open up the playbook a little bit more. You know, and it's not always a good thing. I know that, and it's not always a good thing. But if they can kind of keep it under control, you can knock some rust off. I mean, I think that we can do more things.
Yeah, the Bears did have a good game, but the Cowboys, I think, are better. And as long as they keep their running game going, I mean, and the quarterback just has to control the game while he gets his little mojo back, I think they'll be fine.
Oh, on a side note, we traded for a defensive tackle.
Oh, we have another defensive tackle.
Yeah. So and he's supposed to be a run stopper. So I guess every time he's in there, they're gonna throw the ball. No, okay. No, but they got him to stop the run. So I mean, I don't know if that's a sign for their team, like the audible of that, right?
So he's a good guy.
Well, I mean, they got him for a 6th-round pick, but he's supposed that's his specialty to run stop. So we'll see how he does, right? What do you think, Dave?
Well, first of all, I think the Cowboys defense is going to do a good job. I think Dak will get a little bit better. He wasn't that bad, I guess, but I wasn't very impressed with him in that first half.
He did the same thing that...
It was a Cooper Rush performance.
Exactly.
Yes.
He just controlled the game. He managed the game.
The Cowboys
That's all he had
ran the
to
ball.
do.
They ran the ball well again, so that was very, very good, and that's what we need the Cowboys to do.
We
run
need
the ball
him
really
throwing
well.
25 times, not 50 times.
But what I did notice is that our offensive line is still really bad. They kept getting to the quarterback, Hutchinson, the number 1 pick from Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
He was all over
It's
Dak.
that left tackle, no?
Yeah,
That
he was
rookie.
that Steele.
Yeah.
No, Steele. He was killing Steele.
Yeah.
He was all over Dak, and like so. I was actually kind of impressed with Detroit, and I know that they hadn't won that many games, and they got shut out the week before. But they did have 2 weeks to prepare. That's like a Super Bowl, right? When you have 2 weeks to prepare for a team coming off a bye. I mean, it's not as easy as it looks on paper.
So, yeah, and I have a office staff member going to the game this week that's not going to be cheering for the Cowboys, really. And I have another office staff member that's a Bears fan, and she wore her jersey today, and I forgot to wear my Cowboy jersey.
Does she buy a jersey every week of the team that we're going to play against? Because there's only Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters. That's it. They go for everyone that plays against the Cowboys.
No, she's a Bears fan. She is a Bears fan. But I'm sorry to tell her that the Cowboys are going to win this game easy. They're going to take it. Yeah, it's probably something like at least 28 to 14, in that range. Maybe even 31.
More.
You think more?
Yeah, and it's just containing fields, right? It's just containing fields, really, because I mean he's got some legs, but they don't have any receivers.
Can't really hit his targets like when he's under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our defense will get some scores. That's why I think.
I hope so, man. We need some interceptions.
Or put us in good position.
Well, the Lions had a very good line, and we weren't putting too much pressure on him. And he was completing some of those passes.
That guy had only been sacked one time the whole year.
Yeah, that line. So if we can't put pressure, he will. And if we open up the middle and rush the sides, he's going to be taking off. He can also go around you. So.
And can we get Gallup involved? I mean, he had 0 catches. So we need to get him involved a little bit in the game plan, even if it's like one of those pick screens that they just throw it to the side and just to kind of
anything.
Yeah, anything.
Just get them involved.
No.
All right. So those are our picks for now. We have a couple of things. We're gonna do a nail it and airball. Do you all know? We made some picks on certain things earlier and predictions, and we're gonna go over those and we're gonna see if we airballed it or we actually nailed it. And Carlos, do you have any that you may have nailed or airballed?
I definitely have an airball. My early pick for season MVP was on the dark horse, Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I remember we all laughed at that one.
He's not doing terrible, but he was playing with a broken back. Come on, guys. I didn't know that when I made the pick.
Was it spinal?
Well, anyway, that's my airball right there. My what's it called?
Nailed it?
Nailed it. I really haven't.
You haven't nailed anything.
Nothing that's too wild,
Yeah, okay.
I think so far my airball has been the Chargers. I was really high on the Chargers. I know they have some guys out, but they haven't really, they don't even look like a playoff team right now the way they're playing. I think I had them in the Super Bowl, so I was way off on that one.
Yeah, you were.
Well, you never know.
You never know, man. They can turn it up.
And I think You know, as far as nailing it, I nail it every week. You know, guys. So
it's hard to.
Do you have a
pick,
list in
right?
there of all my nails? I mean, they got
Golden nail.
yeah, no. I
Golden
think
nail.
I mean, from what I can remember was, and I know that we probably all agreed on it, but was when I said last week about Cooper. You know, if they make him throw the ball, you know, he's not gonna succeed. And he threw 3 picks right off the bat. You know, in the first half. So I mean. You
So
know,
that's your
if
damn
you want to
list.
call it a nail, I mean, but I thought it was a lot of people probably knew, but a lot of people probably also jumped on that Cooper Mount Rushmore bandwagon and said, you know what, take out Doc forever and have Cooper in there because everybody's a prisoner of the moment and everybody's always, you know what, they forget, they have selected memories. A lot of people have selected memories, right? It's like, what have you done for me lately, right? So now that he had that bad game, now everybody's back on the Dak bandwagon. Am I right or wrong?
You're wrong.
Okay.
Dak has a bad game. They're gonna get
Yeah.
draft somebody, man. Draft somebody. Charlie,
Well, I think mine came in the same game. I
an air
Kind
ball
of-
and a nail it.
I
Okay.
kind of nailed it.
On
That the Eagles were gonna stack the line, stop the run, and make Cooper Rush throw the ball.
mine. Nailed.
Then I said that Cooper Rush was gonna be able to work through it and manage the game.
Airball.
Shooter.
And
Alright. Airball.
Airball.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. We also would like to get back to doing some bookets because I think we can book a few things and airball them also. But let's see, go for it.
My bucket. Tampa Bay is 1-point favorite over the Ravens this week, and I got the Ravens with the upset. If you can call it upset, I don't think it's gonna be an upset, but I guess
Okay.
considering the betting odds, it's an upset. Book it.
Okay, good. What I was thinking was, and I'm not just saying this because we talked about this earlier, right? About the Lions, right? But the Lions actually impressed me. I watched that whole game, and I know that they haven't won that, but like I think that two little things could have gone wrong for us, and they would have beaten us. You know, I thought that the momentum switched a couple of times. We got a couple of calls there, here and there. I
That
thought
tackle at the 1 yard line
Yeah.
and the fumble at the play
Right.
after.
So and I was impressed by their offensive line, and I was impressed by by Hutchinson. I think he's getting better and better, and I think they're 3.5 point underdogs against the Dolphins. Look for them to cover, and you know what? I'm just gonna say it. Book it.
Okay.
Charlie, you
I-
got what?
Yes. Okay. Vegas has the Patriots beating the Jets. And the Jets have really been playing good ball. So,
The Jets are
and they have them 2.5 point underdogs and taking the Jets. Okay.
What's the line on the 49ers Rams game?
49ers.
20.
San Francisco,
San Francisco.
minus 1.5.
San Francisco minus
minus
1.5.
Favored.
They're
So they're
favorites.
favored by 1.5. Yeah, they're gonna beat them by 2.
Good.
49ers, book it.
By 2.
By
With
2.
the points. Without the points. Yeah, we're going to book it on that, man. All right. There's we were asked to see a show on Netflix called Redeem Team, and it is about the 2008 NBA stars going to the Olympics and them training to get there. And it was really a good show, and I think that makes a good discussion today as far as what you guys thought of it. And
Yeah, the last time we kind of we went over the MANCAVE documentary.
Yeah.
So now we're kind of going to do the Redeem Team. What do you think, Carlos?
I really liked it. I finished watching it. I had started it, but then I fell asleep, and then I finished watching it right now. And it was a good story. I like how they involved Kobe a lot. You know, they talk about him being the leader, and I guess he was the older one there at the time, right?
He was 30.
He was like he was 30 years old, and I really like how they did that. And seeing that team, they weren't just one of those, you know, put all the talent together and go out there and just play. Like I think Coach K did a real good job of getting them together to become a team for that, you know, those few games.
Yeah.
And I think they were a really good team together. I think they could have beat the Dream Team.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean,
Go Gilbert. No. Okay.
so
Next.
I think I learned a lot about it watching it, and it kind of opened my eyes to different things that I had no idea about. I didn't know about that original Olympic team that got robbed. The one of
They got robbed
Collins.
big time,
You know, I didn't know about that, so they had that also as kind of an inspiration. A lot of times you don't praise people until they pass away.
Mhm.
You know, I think that if Kobe was still alive, a lot of these stories wouldn't be coming out. You know,
Right.
but now that looking back at it, the way that I saw it is that I don't think Kobe had as much talent, born God given talent, as LeBron. But I don't think LeBron has had half the work ethic that Kobe had and the passion that he had. And I think that that's something that we learned from the documentary. And I think that that's what a lot of these guys elevated their game, just seeing his work ethic and the passion that he had for the game and being a professional.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of these guys grew individually by seeing him and the way that he carried himself.
Yeah, and the way it was presented, it seemed that they wouldn't have won without Kobe. They
Yeah.
would have lost again.
I think his competitiveness brought them all together, and he took the lead role, and they kind of all fell in line with him,
Yeah.
and because of him, they won. I think.
Shout out to
Well,
Kobe.
I really think that Coach K was the perfect guy, I think, for them to put up with all of these guys. They actually run their basketball teams. It's not their coaches. But this guy had the respect from all of the players. He earned the respect along the way by all these little things that he would do with them, bringing the people to talk to them, explaining to them exactly the importance of this. And Kobe mentioned it that it was bigger than the Lakers against Boston. It was bigger than all of this because that guy that came up with the Boston jersey, and he thinks that he's going to tell him something or another, and he tells him, "Bring back the gold." And that makes Kobe understand, like, hey, it's bigger than just Lakers. It's bigger. So,
Sorry, guys.
thank you very much. Is that time?
No.
And and this man that picked the team actually did a very good job. But they knew that they needed a leader the way Kobe was a leader. They actually think like he's an asshole and stuff like that, and they don't know how to act around him. They don't know how to act around him. And LeBron is the one that starts breaking the ice to make him smile, to make him, but him running through Pau Gasol got them all.
Yeah.
As soon as he ran, he said he was going to do it. He did it, and
Ultimate
really-
competitor, man. Ultimate competitor.
And I think that's what these other guys are lacking, maybe still to this day,
Yeah.
that they're not competitors like that.
Yeah, the thing that I admire is that, and I think that from just off the top of my head, is Kobe, Kevin Garnett, I mean, even Tim Duncan. I mean, I know Tim Duncan didn't have the same personality as Kevin Garnett, as Kobe Bryant, but they weren't friends with everybody else. And that's
Maybe
what I think
that's
that's what's really missing from the NBA. In my opinion, I kind of agree with this one. The game has evolved so much, so like the players are more talented because they've been working on their skill. They've enhanced the skills that were brought by the founding guys before them, but the competitiveness, I think that as fans we liked the hate that these guys had for each other. And now everybody's kissing each other and wanting to play with each other and
exchange jerseys.
exactly.
But another thing, Coach K bringing it up, even though Coach Brown had said it before, but he really didn't make it happen. Coach K, he says they're playing a different game than they're playing in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's a totally different game. There's tons of different rules that they had to
adjust to.
Yes.
But at the same time, Charlie, the way that the U.S., the way these guys were looking at it, we're the pioneers. We invented the game. I know the rules are different, but we invented the game. It's time to take the game back.
The first
the
Dream
rules don't
Team went to
change.
show how much
Right.
above everybody was. But then you start seeing they're getting so much better, and all these teams are getting guys from other countries, and
A bunch of the guys on the Spain team had NBA experience.
Yeah.
They went against Ginobili, and a couple guys from there had NBA experience.
Yeah.
So it's getting, they had more competition. And up until that Spain game, they really didn't struggle against anybody.
yeah,
Just that
but
championship game.
actually the national teams that played
They're like
from the
AAU
good
teams.
countries. Yeah, they stay together and they play and it's not just like an NBA season and it's over. They play and
I
they're
think that's the
playing
only
all
way
year
you could be
round.
competitive with more talented guys.
And well, the Spain guy said it. It's a team game. They might have the best individuals playing, but it's a team sport.
Yeah, and I think the loss is humbled. I think the U.S. and now when this team got together, they were diving for balls and stuff like that. Where the teams before they thought that they could just walk on the court, and then they lost, and they lost again. It's like we can't do that anymore. We gotta actually play with pride. And that's what it all came down to. They needed those leaders.
I think it was a great show, and I did like it. It was very enjoyable. Maybe we'll discuss a different show next time around.
Yep.
Once they come up with another one. And you were talking about hating, and the last topic here, you hate Brady, and
Yeah.
you want
I
to say
wouldn't call
that
it
he's
hate.
washed up again, but
Yeah.
what do you guys think about him actually being washed up? He's lost a few games in a row. I mean, not too bad, but I mean, what do you think now?
I mean, look, here's the deal. You cannot have it both ways. If he's out there playing and competing, then don't say he's old because he still feels like he's like the top of his game. At the same time, people are arguing about he doesn't have a line, his line is hurt, but they never said that about Patrick Mahomes when his entire line was out. So you can't have it both ways, where you have all these people saying, "Well, Brady doesn't have his line. He doesn't have Julio Jones, the third receiver." When Patrick Mahomes played him in the Super Bowl, he was missing his entire line, and he never got the same respect that Tom Brady had. So now you see him playing, and he's throwing skip passes, and he's having happy feet when they rush up the middle. I mean, you have to give him the same amount of blame as you do credit when he does do well.
Well, I'm gonna say one thing, and you've always said it. Before, he had time to tie his shoes,
Yes.
and then look downfield, and then throw the pass. He doesn't have that anymore.
Mhm.
But even back then, when he didn't have it and he felt the pressure, he wouldn't run, he wouldn't take off, he would duck.
Mhm.
And now he has to do it more often. Now he's throwing the ball away so that he doesn't lose those yards and all those skip passes and stuff. He's not gonna do well.
I think he has a lot of extracurricular stuff going on outside. And then they talked about him going to a wedding, not traveling with the team, and not going to practice. I think he missed a practice or a couple practices. And then he goes on Sunday, and they show him yelling at his line. Like, that's not how you might be Tom Brady, but if you're not practicing with me, you're not traveling with me, you're not part of the team, then don't
No,
scream.
if you're going to be missing practices, don't be yelling at me.
Yeah, man. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, "What about my play?" Instead of screaming at these guys that are actually going to the meetings and practicing.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Dave?
I think he's the best.
You can yell at
He's
me
the
any
goat.
day.
We saw him play.
I think I'm going to cut this part out of the video. I think he's having a tough year, man. He's definitely having a tough year. Even against the Cowboys, he didn't have a great game, but the Cowboys had a terrible game.
The Cowboys had a terrible game.
And so I think it's a tough year. I think they're going to turn it around. I think he's going to do fine. And like I said, they're going to get into the playoffs and do something. But
Okay. How far will they go in the playoffs?
first game, 2 games, 3 games, I don't know. 4
Okay.
maybe 5.
Whatever it takes.
my
Maybe
God.
whatever it takes, man. What do you think?
Oh man, with that South. Okay, the Falcons are in there too. Now I just thought about it. So it's the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Aints. So I mean,
Yeah.
oh, I mean,
Yeah, they have
they have a good chance.
They have a
making
chance
the
of getting
playoffs.
in.
Yeah, they will. But they might lose first round. So, yeah.
The way they're playing now.
I just hope the Cowboys don't play them in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that matchup.
Well, it would be nice. I mean, if it gives Dak confidence and they beat, Tom Brady, it would be nice. But
Yeah.
you know what?
But you're not just beating Tom Brady. You're beating Tom Brady and the referees.
True.
You know?
That's true.
So
But you know what? I mean, I don't know, man.
No,
I mean,
his performances haven't been up to par. He doesn't have time to throw the ball. He's always been the one to duck and take the sack. Now he's ducking, taking the sack, and throwing the ball away instead of trying to make a better throw or scramble a little. Make some time. Doesn't make any time for
I
himself.
mean, I have confidence that he can turn it around.
just has to come back.
More confidence than Dak getting a lot better.
I don't know if I'm wrong or not, but
You know.
has he ever made time for himself, or has his line always protected him? You could tell your shoes.
No, I mean he does make time for himself, but he gets rid of it faster sometimes. Like he'll when they're rushing too much, he starts throwing the short passes and things of that sort. So
He does throw a lot of screens, a lot of dumps.
Yeah.
I mean, he did, and like I said, and he doesn't get criticized for that.
No.
But he's the GOAT, right?
He is the
He
GOAT.
ain't gonna get criticized because
He's
he's
the
the GOAT.
GOAT. He's the GOAT. Yeah. I don't think he's lost it yet. You think he lost it?
I think, I think he's lost. Part time,
Okay.
finally. I mean,
Finally, I mean, it's been 5 years that you've been.
Well, okay, can we all kind of admit that finally caught it to him?
We'll see.
I don't
Let the
think.
season
I
end,
really
because
don't
you never
think.
know.
No.
I don't think
After
it's
the
his
playoffs,
ability.
I guess I can kind of. Oh, you're a prisoner. Like just my own words, right? You're a prisoner of the moment. The moment right now, he's been struggling. So
Yeah.
right now, it's easy to say he's washed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They have to do something and protect him. And if you protect him and you give him time, he's going to rip you apart.
Yeah. And you're not gonna get anybody else in there that's gonna play better than him right now with that team.
Dak.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Any last comments? Anything that you all are concerned about? I'm not going to mention the team that you don't want to talk about because you don't want to jinx them.
Do
But
you want to
play 7 games and
They'll just play 4.
Do you want to break down the Jake Paul fight?
No, man.
Jake Paul.
He's fighting this weekend, right?
Who's he
Yeah, it's
fighting now?
interesting. So,
Anderson Silva.
boxing
yeah.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's gonna win?
Probably Jake Paul, to
You
be
think so?
honest, because I think they're fake fights.
Yeah, they're just making
Money grabs.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Money
money
grabs.
grabs. All of that stuff is money grabs now.
Yeah.
I don't even want to watch boxing anymore because they're all just like made up fights just to make money, and they really like each other too much. Guys, happy Halloween! Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you hopefully next week.
Check your candies before you eat them.
Deuces. Yeah. You're going to be giving free shots all week?
No. Okay. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you later. Or you don't do it all the time.
Just do
right? It's like,
some vampire teeth.
Sports talk in the MANCAVE.
I wanted to suck your blood.
And then you put Zeke. Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.